how does somebody like Keaton Wagler go from Kansas City, where the local schools aren't really recruiting him, the Missouris, the Kansas States, and he gets to Illinois and he's going to be a top 10 pick in the draft?
I think a lot of it's honestly the portal. There's just there's a kind of a knee jerk reaction I feel after each season that you need to replace what you lost, and you need to replace it at the level you lost it at. And sitting in those meetings and being a part of it the last 4 years, I think that that's kind of one of the elements of it. There's just it's hard to be patient. It's
Yeah.
hard to take somebody with the idea of development for a number of reasons. Are they going to stick around? Are you going to have the opportunity to be around them and grow with them? And a lot of times the portal just provides, I think, a quicker fix in a lot of senses. But Keaton still had a very good high school career.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
he was a great player and a player of the year, and not ranked in the top, of course, 50 or 75, but still pretty well respected by
Yeah.
a lot of people that saw him. And of course, just like anything, it comes down to fit. I think Keaton came to Illinois knowing that there was going to be an opportunity to play there, and what role and capacity was kind of for him to determine
Hmm.
as he played. And then, as the summer and the fall went on, he just kept getting better and better. And because of that, I mean, he's where he's at, and he never gets too high, he never gets too low. He's about the most steady freshman I
Yeah.
think I've ever seen.
Was there a like a meeting or a discussion between the coaches of like, okay, this is what we maybe thought we were going to get with Keaton this year, but he's got to be our starting point guard this year if we're going to go. Was it just like, okay, we see that it's going to happen, or was there like a meeting of like, what do we do here? Because Boswell's taking a step back last year. Now he's the man. Now do we ask him to take another step back? And Stojakovic coming off the bench and doing different things throughout the season that you guys had to make adjustments with, but Keaton specifically, as you saw him come along, was there he's our guy, he's our point guard?
Well, I think even in the fall and the summer, Coach Underwood, his practices, it's a lot of playing. It's a lot of competitive segments, and just kind of grew over time, like how good of days he was having.
Yeah.
And he's not the flashiest in the world.
Right.
He doesn't go in and dunk on everybody. It's not the really flashy moves. It's just extremely efficient. So he was just finishing days with 4 assists, no turnovers, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 5 rebounds, and he was just kind of continually doing that too. Yeah, I think it just kind of it wasn't that that moment where everything just fell into place and it was like the music started playing and everybody knew it. It was just kind of one of those where he just kept getting better and he kept having great days, and because of other guys. We had a couple guys, European guys, that were kind of joined later. So we weren't really sure, I think, through the summer, and I even joined later as well. So there wasn't a lot of certainty on how things were going to play
Mhm.
out. But the one thing, when you go back on it and look at it, the one thing that was a constant was Keaton having a pretty good day.